Well, it is good to be with you guys today. As Cody said, we're going to just take some time today and look back at this past year and celebrate what God has done in our community. And we honestly have so much to be grateful for. Now, if you were here last year at the beginning of the year, the Lord told us to focus this year, 2021, on presence, posture, and purpose. That we were to be about God's presence, that we were to have Christ's posture, and that we were to go after Christ's purpose. And those are things we've been chewing on and thinking about all year. And really, what does it look like to be people of His presence? What does it look like to posture ourselves with humility, with wisdom, with honor? How do we posture ourselves like Christ postured Himself? And how do we be about His business, His purpose? Right? And we talked a lot about going after the hungry and different things throughout the year. And, of course, 2021, none of us, I think we all kind of came into this year like reeling from 2020. And for many, 2021 got even harder. But yet when we stop to look back at what God has done in our community, it is honestly so encouraging. And so I want to just first start by just kind of going through some things that have happened this year in our community, and then I have a word for us I'm going to share called Gideon's Revival, so get ready. Let's start here. So just kind of want to remind you of our mission as a church, as a community. Our mission is personal and cultural transformation through love, creativity, and justice. This is who we are. This is what we're about. As we pursue Jesus, as we exalt Him, as we adore Him, we expect to be personally transformed, and we expect the world to be transformed as we go after love, creativity, and justice. And so I want to talk briefly just a little bit about our impact here at home at E58, here in our region and our community, and then also our impact around the world. So first of all, now this might not seem like a big deal to you, maybe in past years, but is a big deal this year. We had 51 online services. We sure did. Figuring that out, we did that. We were able to rally and meet people wherever they were. Some of you watching online, we have an incredible online community that has built up and from all different parts of the world. And so actually, our services are watched in 44 different countries. I say this every year, but we are, as a church, I'm always blown away that our impact outside of this building is always so much, numerically greater than our impact inside this building. That people all over the world, we've literally had so many stories of people tell us, I found this church because I was in Scotland and somebody told me I should visit E58, and then I traveled to China and somebody there told me I should visit E58, and I was like, what in the world? I have to visit E58. And you're like, how? Who are these people? I love that. We had 38 in-person services, and boy howdy, we fought hard for those. We sure did. In a time when it was hard to be in person, all the things, trying to create a safe space. I'm so proud of our team. I'm so proud of this community's flexibility and willingness to just adapt as we were, dealing with county policies and trying to care for our neighbors and just the ever-changing, evolving dramas of COVID. So I'm so grateful that we were able to have 38 in-person services. And we had 52 volunteers this year making all of our Sundays happen. Whether we were outside setting up at YWAM, you guys remember when it rained? Did that for a minute, sitting in the sun. We were at a school for a second, whether we were here, whether we were online. Our incredible volunteers are the backbone of this community and have been so generous and extravagant in their service and love, and we're so, so grateful. This year, in the midst of all of the challenges, we still saw dozens of people give their lives to Christ. That's incredible. That even though so many of us were isolated, we as a community were still able to reach people who had never heard the gospel, people who had not made a decision for Christ, and bring impact. That's incredible. We had 3 baptisms, and we had 8 child dedications in the middle of a pandemic. We as a community, as a church, were grateful recipients 2 times, thank you, Jesus, of the PPP loan, which was a big blessing for our community. We had 176 new families give towards E58 this year. And now listen, so many churches have struggled, so many organizations, so many businesses have struggled. God has continued to, wildly provide for us as a community, and we continue to remain completely debt-free as an organization. It's incredible. Within our children's ministry, our E58 Tribe Kids, we relaunched in-person kids ministry this year, which was a big deal. It's a big deal. I know that was, our team was incredible in what they were able to put out online, digitally. It was phenomenal. But I know as a parent, our kids were so eager to get back and so proud of our team for figuring out ways to safely do that, to pour into our kids. We had 5 new kids or 5 children in our community choose to give their lives to Christ for the first time. We hosted a 6-week spirit-led parenting series, and we onboarded 7 new volunteers. Now, I know you might be looking and you're thinking, that doesn't seem like a lot. You try to get volunteers in a pandemic, right? That's a lot. That's a lot. When just showing up is hard. And for people to say, I will invest, I will pour out, I will be back in that stuffy room with a mask on with those kids and make sure that they get a dose of Jesus before they go home, right? That is incredible. And we're so, so grateful for all of our volunteers who every single week make sure these kids, you guys, I don't even know if you know what goes on back there. Miss Erica and her team are so incredible. But our kids, you guys, they get prayed over, they get prophesied over, they get loved on, they get encouraged, they get, they learn. We are a community that is so passionate that, in truly discipling our children and our youth, we don't believe kids just, go give them a little craft and a snack. That's not how we do church. Our children are not just the church of tomorrow, they're the church of today. We believe that wholeheartedly, and so our kids are learning what it means to be a follower of Jesus. They're learning what it means to partner with the Holy Spirit, and they, every single week, get deeply poured into back there, so we're so incredibly, incredibly grateful. Also within our community, we've hosted this year 29 life groups. Incredible. All over the region. We served and helped connect over 285 people into small group settings. That's incredible. So people could connect in community. They could find their tribe. They could find people to run with. It's been hugely impactful. We hosted over 30 unique events this year. All right, so everything from town hall to our Amplify to connect groups, encounter nights, family beach day, prayer nights, premarital counseling, grief care workshop. Anybody do that? That was so good. The grief workshop. I can't read. Sozos and more. I'm so grateful just for the way that this community has invested in each other and been present with each other. And so being able to do that was a really big deal this year. We also this year launched our young adult community. Come on. So good. Look at that. I love this. So monthly events were hosted to bring together our young adult community. I've heard so many incredible testimonies from some of you guys involved in that, just what's come out of that, the way you guys have built relationship and gone on mission together, and some of you serving in different organizations together, and a host of things. And so that's incredible. We also launched the Mothers Group this year, the Moms Group. I think that's what you guys call yourselves, the Moms Group. I love this. The Moms Group has continued even meeting beyond just the life group season because they found so much community and friendship and life together. And I hear y'all are planning a trip to Big Bear. Why wasn't I invited? Okay, I'm coming. So I just love that this, families are hanging out, strengthening each other, encouraging each other, doing life together. I don't know about you, but those of you who are obviously in these groups, you know this to be true. There's something so powerful about when we invest in spiritual community. It's like the effort to get there, before you do it feels really big. And then once you do it, you're like, the effort to get there so pales in comparison to what you get. The strength, the encouragement, the community, the friendship, it's such a gift. And so I'm so grateful for this. Also, we have this year, as a community, continued to really pour into our benevolence ministry. And so E58 as a church, we provide financial assistance and support to families with placing a special focus on single moms in our community. And so we provide housing assistance and food and advocacy. This is something we're passionate about. We've also been able to support families that have had some outstanding medical expenses this year and funeral expenses, things like that. So this community has really rallied to support each other. And it's just been really beautiful to watch where somebody's like, hey, we've got excess this month. We'd love to see it go towards a family that really needs it at E58 this month. And it's just the way this community has shown up for each other is so beautiful. So beautiful. Our worship community has continued just to thrive this year. They welcome new members onto the team. We hosted a writers retreat in Nashville this year. We co-wrote over 15 original worship songs with writers from Capitol and Curb Word Records, which was huge. Our team got invited with these various, Capitol and Curb. These are big groups. Our team got invited to write with them. We started production on 2 new originals, Safe and Grateful. Y'all remember Grateful? Remember Grateful? Do I need to bring MZ back up here and remind you? Okay. And then we also got selected to record on iTunes A Million Saints, The Church Will Sing playlist for 2022. And so our team was recorded for that, which is really cool. And so I want to just kind of give you also a picture of our impact in LA County. So this past year, 2021, as a church, we partnered with Love Has No Limits. Love Has No Limits was a regional campaign across Southern California to bring leaders together. And this was really where E58 came, and was a part of this. We were part of the team that helped really draw leaders together to bring impact across Southern California. And this was a focus throughout the year. We, together with Love Has No Limits, we mobilized 20,000 volunteers to serve impoverished communities across LA. We activated 650 serve centers. And Love Has No Limits eliminated $47 million in medical debt that impacted 23,000 families in LA. We engaged with 35 prisons with rehabilitative and reentry support. Something that always amazes me about this community is we're small, but we're mighty. And this is a community that really draws people and rallies people and doesn't have an ego that gets in the way, that just says, how do we get everybody to the table so that we can be more powerful? And it's really beautiful to watch what God did as the faith community really rallied this past year in Southern California. I want to talk just a little bit about our foster care initiative and our impact, because this is so incredible. E58 serves on the LA County DCFS Faith Collaborative, as well as the steering committee. So Expression58 as a church, we are right in the heart of it with DCFS. We are in county meetings consistently. We are speaking to issues. We're also part of the steering committee that is helping to, draw different faith communities from around LA County together to unite around this issue of foster care. We also helped to lead and spearhead the Love Has No Limits. Can you go back just for a sec? The Love Has No Limits foster care campaign. Not that one. There we go. Which through those efforts, we were able to see 1,500 new families from across LA County step up and say, we'll do foster care. That's incredible, you guys. That is incredible. And this little church, right there in the middle of it. This little church was there, banging our fists, doing whatever, rallying people. Like, this was like a 2-year effort to get people, to really show up for this. This is so incredible and such a win for our community. And because we've sat at these tables, and because we've served, and because we've continued to be faithful and to be trustworthy, and stewarding these opportunities God is giving us within the county, LA County asked Expression58 if we would run a camp for foster care kids this year, and we did. And so some of you participated in that and helping that, but we ran Camp Connect this year for children in our foster care system between the ages of 11 and 16 who are in a unique situation. They're getting ready to age out. These kids that we hosted at the camp and that we got to really spend a week just pouring into and encouraging and building up. These kids are all eligible for adoption or could be eligible for adoption but don't want to be adopted for a variety of reasons. And so we got to just help kind of bring some healing and restoration to these kids with the hopes of getting them some really healthy adult permanency and connection in their lives. And so our team did such a phenomenal job at this camp that LA County came back and said, we'll pay for it and will you do it again? And so we are scheduled to do that again this year. We're so excited for that. Another way that this community has been involved, or this church has been really involved in our community and bringing impact, is around the issue of criminal justice reform. Expression58 continues to sit on the LA County Alternatives to Incarceration Cabinet, and we chair the Ecumenical Committee, which draws faith leaders from across the county together to help bring strategy and solutions to prevent and reduce incarcerations across LA County. And so we're right there in the middle of it. We are right there in the middle of these conversations. We're right in the thick of it. Partnering, being at the table, this is something we really, really believe. If you've been here for a while, you've heard us talk about this. We have choices in life. You can stand on the sidelines and critique and complain and point out and whine, or you can get in the ring, right? Now, when you get in the ring, you're going to be critiqued. You better be ready to be misunderstood. You better be ready for people to, call you all kinds of things. But this is where we believe the church is meant to be. Right in the heart of these issues. We talked about, going to the wells of society. These are the wells of society. These are the pain points in our community. And we're showing up as a community and we're saying, how can we be a part of the solution? How can we bring, solutions to the table and just supporting our community? This has been a huge opportunity for E58. Something else that I'm so passionate about and grateful that we as a community have been able to be involved in. This past year, we didn't talk about this a lot, but this is something we were working on day in, day out, right here across the county. E58 was pivotal in pioneering the LA County Faith Alliance. This did not exist before a year ago. We recognized that different churches and faith communities were working with LA County in different departments. Some people worked with mental health. Some people were working with DCFS. Some people were working on, homeless issues, whatever. But there was no strategic or unified effort, and there was a lot of siloing and a lot of politics and a lot of bureaucracy and a whole lot of stuff. And we really realized if we're going to bring impact, we have to get smart and get united. And we also realize it's the job of the faith community to be dealing with these issues because we just kept watching billions of dollars and no real solutions happen. And I'm not downing our county because they are in impossible positions and have really, really hard tasks to tackle. But what we realized is we needed a unified and intelligent approach. And so this past year, we were able to launch the LA County Faith Alliance. And it's a network of interfaith communities united to serve LA County for the greatest impact. There are over 4,000 faith communities in LA County, and we've got everybody at the table. We've got the Jewish Federation, we've got the Archdiocese, we've got everybody at the table and said, hey, let's do this together. And so now the faith community together is driving change and solutions through data-driven. This is huge. We did a massive survey across faith communities in LA County, just gathering data. This didn't exist. What services do you provide? What do you do? What neighborhood are you in? What are the gaps in your community? And we've been helping to use that data to help create really holistic solutions. Strategic and united efforts tackling the most challenging social issues in our county. So E58, we are part of the pioneering team of that and are sitting on the leadership board for that in our county. You should be excited. I think it's a big deal. Also, as a community this year, we have continued to support our incredible local partners. As a church, we've been providing volunteers and financial support to a handful of local organizations, such as Door of Hope, which is a domestic violence shelter, and Union Rescue Mission. As a community, you guys have provided furniture and Bibles and clothes and shoes and food and school supplies, so many things to these organizations, as well as financial support. And also, our local partners, but also we've had so much impact globally. And this always blows me away. Always blows me away because I don't know about you, but there's been so many times in my life where I've been felt like I had to have more to be able to really bring impact, and the reality is you don't, because you can have a lot and bring very little impact. It's just about being obedient, being willing, being available, and being generous, and watching what God does, right? And so the way that we've been able to show up for our justice partners and the work that they've been doing is just so incredible. This past year in our justice, these are all of our different justice partners. This past year in our justice offerings in the middle of a pandemic when everybody was struggling, we were able to raise $46,000. Come on. And the Giving Wall raised $85,000, you guys, for a total of $131,000 for our justice orgs this year. Look around this room. That's incredible. That is incredible. So some of the specific things that we've been able to do with this, with Casa Mis Sueños, we were able to feed over 10,000 vulnerable women and children in Ecuador during extreme food scarcity during the pandemic. And we've been able to help them raise money to buy a much-needed vehicle for delivering aid. It's incredible. With our partner organization, Treasures, we've been able to raise money to fund the furnishing of their new transitional home, which we're so excited about, which is going to provide immense support to women leaving exploitation. Through our Justice Rising partners, you saw the video this morning, but this year we adopted, 2021, we adopted a school in the middle of the war-torn Congo, Kathleen Primary School. Not only were we able to cover all the school expenses for 2021, but because of our generous donations of the Giving Wall, we've been able to cover salaries and expenses for 2022 for the entire school. Incredible. With Reach Up, Reach Out, we sent a team of volunteers to Tijuana, Mexico, and to Quito, Ecuador. Our participation greatly helped in bringing much-needed aid, so hundreds of vulnerable children, to hundreds of vulnerable women and children in these countries. It's huge. And then with the Justice Group, we've provided monthly support to the Children's Rescue Center in Kenya, where orphaned and abandoned children find family and healing. And just at the end of the year, we've officially adopted the Children's Rescue Center in Kenya and has now brought it under E58. So, y'all, you just got 12 new kids, okay? So that is incredible, incredible. So, and there's so many just testimonies that we've heard from you guys of just what God has done in your business and your family and your lives. It is just, I'm blown away that in the middle of what's been a hard year, that we've seen God do so much, and our impact is so great. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are so incredibly grateful for every single one of you. So good.